Over the course of this video, I'm going to show you guys my top 5 favorite smoke plays that are going to level up your gameplay. We got offensive and defensive smokes, a smoke screen, bait or fake out smokes, and then an alpha smoke. Be sure to drop a comment down below if I didn't cover your favorite smoke play. Share it with others, give some people some tips and tricks. Also, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on X for updates when I go live, new videos. All right guys, so how this is going to work, I'm going to explain the smokes, just a quick visual, and then we're going to hop into gameplay and we're going to talk about my smoke plays that I did in game. So here we are on Cairo. I picked Cairo because everyone kind of knows this map, right? We're on the south side of the map here. Green arrow is going to be us and the red arrow is the enemy, and then this icon right here represents the smoke as it has bloomed. This yellow line is going to represent our feet right here and then the enemy's feet, so the distance between us and the enemy. Now when you're throwing the first type of smoke, an offensive smoke is thrown as close to the enemy as possible, because what this now does is you have all this room to work with. You can reposition over here, you can reposition over here. So that's what this smoke allows you to do. Opposite of this smoke is going to be smoke number 2, a defensive smoke, which is as close as possible to you. This is really only a last ditch effort type of smoke you want to throw, because now the enemy has all of this room to work with, so they can hop out, reposition here. When do we want to block off our vision? Well, that's a really good question. Let's say, for example, you're in a 1v1 with this guy. You guys are trading shots, boom, boom, boom. He hits you with some good shots, you're half HP. So you're gonna fall back a little bit, just behind the wall, get a reload off, reassess things. Oh, lo and behold, enemy number 2 pops up out of nowhere and starts gunning you, boom, boom, boom. That's a defensive smoke scenario. You're half HP, you're in a 1v2, you're mid reload, you're dead to rights. Last ditch effort attempt, boom, pop a smoke. What this allows you to do then is 180 rotate and see ya, skedaddle on out of there. Get out of there, dip as quick as possible. If you don't have this smoke to throw, the action of you turning 180 and running away with your, boom, 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 and this guy's just looking right at you, he's killing you 10 times out of 10. You're dead, GG's, right? So by throwing this defensive smoke, now you have a slight chance of being able to escape out of there. So that's the difference between a defensive and offensive smoke. Now we're gonna get into the 3 other smokes that allow you to make some plays happen. So the third smoke is going to be a smoke screen, which essentially, as the name implies, is going to create a wall of smoke for you to cross for free, okay? So of course, they can still mag dump the smoke, they can nade it, they can RPG it, whatever it may be. You can still die on this cross, but visually it's a smoke screen. It's a linear wall of smoke that allows you to pass through. So that's essentially the smoke screen. The 4th play we're gonna get into is a really fun one. I call it the bait or the fake out. So how this works, you guys are in a 1v1. This is the scenario, boom, 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 boom. What you can do is pop a smoke like that. Now, once you pop this smoke, you need to make sure the enemy will not have visual on you, because the whole point of this is a fake out. So you pop the smoke and the enemy won't see what you're doing. Now you can reposition to a new angle. The enemy hopefully is going to be focused either right where they last saw you or potentially right here. They're going to anticipate you going for a cross. So they're going to be focused on this area, whereas you repositioned, and now once you peek this new angle, GG's, you can fry them. That's kind of the fake out smoke idea. You're throwing a smoke to bait people to look where the smoke is when you really are just going to work another angle. That's a bait smoke, very successful play, and it works like a charm. Now the last smoke I want to cover with you guys, this is a very fun smoke, high risk, high reward type of smoke, okay? So you want to throw the smoke on the enemy, like as close to their feet as possible, okay? The point of this play, discombobulate, disorient, and smoke them out. So as you're in a 1v1 with them, boom, the smoke blooms. They're gonna be like, what the hell is happening? Did I throw that? Did an enemy throw that? Did a friendly throw that? Instantly their mind goes out of the 1v1 because they're confused. When you get your enemy to exit the 1v1 in their brain, you're at the advantage. So boom, they're already like, what the hell's going on? They're disoriented, they're confused. Then you just hippopotamus W key them, boom, 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 big hippo, right? Once you get it right about here, they're going to be confused, disoriented, and then now they're going to hear footsteps rushing them. So now they're going to be scared. So that's why I call it alpha, because you're putting them into this whole, like, what's happening? Oh my God. So once you enter the smoke, this is where you got to be careful, because you don't know where they're going to be at, and you don't know if they have a shotgun, if they're assault. You never know what to expect, if they have claymores, if they have, whatever play they've conjured up in the time it took you to sprint over there. You just have to be ready for when you throw this alpha smoke and you push them and disorient disorient them, you have to be ready and anticipating this fight already. Okay, am I going to go in? Am I going to jump in? Am I going to hip fire? Am I going to ADS? Am I just going to get into the smoke and go prone and play audio? You have to have that play already thought up before you sprint over. You always want to have that. Again, this play is very high risk, high reward. I lose my fights all the time in the smoke and I win them all the time in the smoke. You Counter-Strike players are already used to smoke fighting. You guys are gods at this stuff. So either way, this play is really fun. Now let's get into some actual live examples of me using these in gameplay. All right guys, so here we got some various smoke plays to go through. So I'm not sure exactly what is going to be what, but we're just going to walk through these and just kind of react to them live. So this was me playing yesterday. So I'm kind of working the double angles. Okay, so that looks like it's that was like a kind of an alpha smoke, honestly. Just kind of disorient the enemy, also just help me get the push. So a bit of an offensive, defensive. That was like a multi-purpose smoke. It worked out pretty well. Offensive, defensive, and alpha. So this was a defensive smoke. I remember this. I wanted to cover my 6 because I was anticipating an enemy to be in this archway right here. So I kind of threw the smoke as I was crossing here. I was anticipating someone to be at that angle. So I said, okay, let me just boom. I wanted to focus this angle and this angle. It was clear. It was clear. And I had my 6 covered the whole time, just in case. You never know. So that was the intended purpose. That's a defensive smoke right there. That guy gunned me pretty hard. I'm like 10 HP, 20 HP, so it looked like that was a bit of a defensive smoke and then offensive smoke as well. But it turns out, I remember this play, it actually worked like a smoke screen, because as you can see right here, the whole street smoked off. So it was a bit of a defensive smoke at first, the second one was offensive, and then the two combined created a smoke screen. Safe res, easy. Here we are. I remember this play. So this was I was a bit in a panic mode on this. That was a bit of a defensive smoke to block my left angle. I just heard footsteps everywhere. I was panicking. My shield didn't go down right there, which really sent me into a panic. And then now I'm in like a 1v3, 10 HP, another smoke, just last ditch effort. And then I think I re-chowed this guy when I shouldn't have because I was so low. So bit of a panic play from me, but still good use of smokes. Here we are with the SGX and the God tier blue laser. This is one of my favorite loadouts in the game. Just playing footstep audio, getting the easy hip fire kills. So there's a bit of a bank smoke. That's a bit of an alpha smoke as well as an offensive smoke. So I heard him running in to res his buddy. I didn't know if he was going for the res or what, but I just wanted to pop smokes to confuse them a little bit and help me move around this area, as I'm the only one on the enemy point here, kind of behind enemy lines. So almost lost that 1v1. There's like a nuclear bomb going off for some reason on the map. I really don't know what's occurring. It's quite ridiculous, but we're still like 1v12ing the enemy team. Again, I'm just kind of throwing smokes. These are a bit of everything combined. It's just offensive smokes, defensive smokes. And then right here, I think I throw one alpha smoke to help me get a push entry into the room, although there was no one there. Oh, JK, there was someone there. So a bit of a panic scenario I'm in right here. Really, I probably should have lost that. I saw his other buddy right here. So I'm in like a 1v3 a little bit. My slide worked out really well. I was able to get that guy. And then I think I lose this 1v1 right here because he swung. This guy was a good player. He swung hard left on me on that. I did not anticipate that play. So GG's to that dude. But that was a bit of a smoke right there. So I wanted to get the cross here. I wasn't wanting to play this street, but I was like, I'll just burn a smoke on my cross to help me get it for free and then help any friendlies. So looks like this is a defensive smoke for sure to cover my 6 on the reses. Unfortunately, you know, they just skipped the res, but that's a defensive smoke. Here is another really good play. So right here, I throw this because I know they're going to be pushing hard from B. So this first smoke, that's an alpha smoke to try to stop the push and then also just kind of disorient them. It helps stop the push quite a bit because as you can see, they didn't push. But once the smoke dissipates, vehicle rolls by and then a few other dudes push. So now they start coming in once the smoke is clear. If I didn't have that shield down, probably would have died. Luckily, that throwable didn't kill me. So right here, I'm hearing them. My friendly doesn't understand what's happening. So I just do one last ditch effort to try to get a hip fire kill, and I decide to fall back. So right here, I'm thinking, hopefully they think I went into the vehicle and they just killed me. Now they think the coast is clear. What I'm doing here is playing footstep audio, and I decide to risk it and go for a little jump flank right there, and it worked out. And I was able to get the res. So again, there's a defensive smoke to cover my 6 on the res. You never know. New play here. Looks like I whiff. Sometimes it happens, you know, you whiff your shots like that. So that's a bit of a bait smoke. That's a over. Ooh, that was, that was kind of filthy. So that smoke was like, this was like kind of a bait smoke, but also a defensive smoke because it was blocking off that archway angle and the rooftop. So we have F and E. Presumably, you never know if there's going to be an enemy there, but so that was kind of a deeper smoke to throw. I basically wanted to block off all of these angles on this side of the street and just focus this close engagement. So that's kind of like a bit of a defensive smoke, alpha smoke. Again, I wanted to block off this, that, and that because I wanted to overextend and peek this. So we get the first guy, and then I heard his footstep, boom. And then that's what the M4 does. The M4 is really good. And then I swung around back here because I thought there were more in this back alley, and I was going to get them from the back, but there weren't. So let's see what happens here. I'm assuming this is going to be an offensive smoke, maybe not. So we got the 3-piece. I don't know where the smoke's at. There's a guy in the street there. Sniper. I don't know where the smoke's at. Oh, there it is. So offensive smoke. As you can remember, when we went over offensive smokes, large distance between myself and the smoke. See how far away that is from me, 20, 30 meters? Now I'm able to rework all of this. That's why it's an offensive smoke. If I threw the smoke right here on myself, I would have limited myself basically to this cover and he would have had the better angle on me. So that's why it works out well. And then look at this. So that one smoke still helps me with this angle right here too. So that's that was a really, really good smoke that helps from 2 completely different angles. And we're able to gun that guy down. Another deep smoke, offensive smoke. So that smoke's good because it helps my friendlies right there on the front line, right? It helps these dudes in the fight. There's that smoke. Very beautiful smoke, by the way. This was like incredible. And then, so I'm out of the fight to get the res, but that smoke is still doing its thing. It's stopping the enemy from pushing. It's helping my friendlies. I come out of the fight for a minute to get the res. Boom, we're back in there like swimwear. So that's how you really want to start cooking with your smokes, guys. It will level up your gameplay to the seriously like next level. It'll make you a lot better when you get good at smokes in this game. That's a good example. Oh, I remember this one. So this is a good example of just closing off a line of sight. Like, I know that dude's there. We're recapping the point. I see the dude on the mini map. I just wanted to throw this smoke to get rid of that whole entire angle. You see that? Now the smoke has bloomed. That angle no longer exists. We don't have to worry about it for like 10 seconds. And again, the enemy could just push right through it, but odds are they won't because that's a ballsy thing to W key. So this is a good example of a smoke screen while using only one smoke when there's like 15 friendlies. And this is why using good smokes can help your team. So I think I was the only one on my team throwing smokes here. So we got one smoke perfectly in the center of the street that basically act as the entire smoke screen. I can get 2 to 3 reses off of it. And then I think I throw one more again as this one. Yep. So just another one, the exact same spot. Help our team out. Boom. We got the tank done. People can regen health, reload, whatever it may be. Went for the res on that guy, but I don't even really know how I got that jumping kill, to be honest. And then I actually messed up my movement here. I wanted to stop right at this stump, but I accidentally slid. And then there's the offensive smoke. So just again, kind of a bit of an alpha smoke where it's going to bloom right on the guy's feet, right in his face. But it's also an offensive smoke because I'm creating a large distance between myself and that smoke. So I'm able to push up off of that. All right, guys. So as always, hopefully this video helped you out. Again, if you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, help grow the channel. Follow me on X. That's going to be in the description. And let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite smoke play or what's your favorite utility in Battlefield 6 so far? What types of future videos do you guys want to see? Do you want to see gun builds, guides, tutorials, gameplays, more stuff like this? Let me know. I love breaking things down like this and helping people get better at the game. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.